Alright. Hello fellow viewers and welcome to yet another edition of Safari Sunday, and at least for now I think I'm going to start, at least for the first half hour of the stream, I'm going to try and get a shiny Natu, and later I'm going to area 2 and maybe try to get some of the shinies that you can only get in the Safar-Zone that are in the water, either by fishing them or by surfing. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the Natu first. And speaking of first, the first viewer who chatted human name, may RNG bless thee. Thank you so much, human name. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Must say I'm kind of tired, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going for the stream. Okay, yeah, true. I can't get a quirky Natu, so I have to go with the adamant one. Delay is already set to 261 because I'm using Sweet Scent. And as always, if you want to be very efficient about this, you save right here where I save. Alright, so the Natu appears the earliest at frame 15,210, so I'm gonna take that, paste it into Eontimer. Yeah, everything is alright, and then I'll just check the settings again. Good luck, thank you, darling. I'm good, I wasn't forced to church today. Oh yeah, so didn't you say that yesterday that you had to go to church? So I guess you didn't. I didn't set the Eontimer to tick. I usually prefer if it goes pop. Not that it matters, doesn't really make a difference. That just comes down to personal preference after all. The tick is just a bit annoying and too long for my liking. As in the sound bite is just lasts for too long. Right, so the lake that I was talking about is here. This is area 2 that we're in. And here I will definitely try and get at least some different shinies that you can get in the water. As always, I have my Espeon as a synchronizer, my adamant synchronizer. And this time I have this Pokemon with me. A wheelie. And I use it later when I want to fish some shinies, because it has the ability, in German, Saugnapf, in English, what was it again? Was it just a translation of Saugnapf, or wasn't it? I forgot, I have to check. That's when you play the games in so many languages. No, it's suction cups, yeah. Okay, so could have just translated it myself. But yeah, I use that ability because that will guarantee me a successful hook. So I'm not gonna waste too many frames with tries or attempts at fishing a Pokemon. If that fails, then that can advance frames unnecessarily. And we do want to avoid that as much as possible, since I have to hit the exact frame that the Pokéfinder program gives me, or I don't hit the shiny frame. Sometimes I accidentally hit another shiny frame. That's the fun thing about, or the fun part about doing formats like Wild Wednesday and this one. Sometimes you get unexpected things. I do think it's fun. Just checking what else. Wobbuffet I could get in as an adamant one. Gloom as well. So Gloom is around that range, and right, I think later I'm gonna go for a Wobbuffet at this exact frame, because if I hit it a bit too late, as in 2 frames too late, I might get a shiny gloom, accidentally speaking. Well, accidentally, not really, but kind of accidentally. Still have to reclaim that one. I'm going for the Natu first, because that was yesterday, for those of you who weren't there. I managed to get a shiny Natu, at least with get, I mean not catch it, but I got it to appear. And yeah, I threw a Pokeblock, so even a Pokeblock with the color and taste that the adamant-natured Natu would really like. And she just took the foot and just fled. So that wasn't nice. That was the first time I think that has happened to me, at least to my knowledge, and if my memory serves me correctly. And yeah, still kind of salty about that. Funny how I got a Xatu earlier. So I got a shiny Xatu before getting a shiny Natu. Sometimes it just happens like this. So let's see what I get now. Last 2 streams, first reset was a shiny, and this time again. This keeps happening. This oddish curse. This keeps happening. Why? I can't see Oddish anymore, I swear. It drives me insane. It's a meme at this point. And bye-bye. Well, that was completely not pointless, of course. Oh yeah, right, the tick, I don't like that. So, shiny Oddish fail, but honestly I don't care, because I have so many right now. It's just funny that I keep getting Oddishes, shiny Oddishes. Well, Wednesday I get them, in this Safari Sunday I get them, Safari Saturday I get them. Just, it's everywhere. Freaking Oddish. RNG is teasing you with Oddish, yeah. Absolutely, at least it feels like it. Right. Don't move too much, NPC. Good. So I'm going into this patch of grass again, because there's no NPCs around that turn around too much or move too much. So my accidental frame advancements won't be that bad, hopefully. But again, I hit a level 27 Oddish, so it's actually a good question what frame I've hit. I think maybe this one. But then again, I'm unable to specifically or really distinguish whether or not I hit, for example, this frame or this frame, because they're absolutely identical down to every single, the last bit. The only difference is one appears at this time frame and the other one appears at this frame, and that's it. So they're all the same gender, same hidden power type and hidden power, I guess. Same IV, same natures, same type of shininess. So in Sword and Shield there's not just star shinies, there's also square shinies, which they apparently took out of Pokemon Karmesin and Pokemon Violet. Oh, it's not Karmesin, it's German, sorry. It's not called that in English. It's called Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So apparently they took the square shinies out. So they technically still exist as the what determines the shiny to be a star or square shiny is just it reads out the bits that make the Pokemon. And if a certain condition is true, then it's a square shiny, and in most cases it's not. So most shinies are star shinies. Square shinies are even a bit rarer. A rarer subset of shinies. But for some reason they introduced that in the Sword and Shield games just to take it away again later, so that makes absolutely no sense. Pokemon Corcariate and Pokemon Corcariate. Yeah, you said that. That would be so freaking funny. Do you have a Photoshop human name or maybe a picture editing program? Because that would be funny if someone did an edit of the two covers and just translated them into fairies. And then just watch the confusion. That's such a unique fact about the language. You don't? I see. But that meme would be very funny. Not even sure that I pronounced it correctly, probably not. Best I can do is MS Paint, that's the OG way. That's classical. So happy that Microsoft didn't decide to ditch Microsoft Paint. I grew up with it basically. Okay. No shiny oddish please, and nothing. Okay. Alright, so I was about to say please nothing that just flees afterwards. The Natu hunt is still ongoing. Do I have oddish here? But that was just to prove a point. So Natu appears only in slot 4. I do have a lot of shiny frames in Emerald, which is a strong point in Emerald. For some reason that I haven't really truly understood yet. Oops, oh that's not good. Oh well. For some reason that I haven't truly understood yet, it seems that if you RNG manipulate, if you want to do that in Emerald, it gives you more slots that can be shiny, as opposed to less slots in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. But again, I'm not sure why. I can guess why, but I couldn't tell you exactly why. So already got one shiny, and I mean got as in it appeared at least. It appeared as quickly as it went. To be fair, I don't need any more shiny Oddishes. I really don't. Want a traditional fairies house when I become older. How would that look like? I don't know if you have a housing crisis where you are. Well, in Luxembourg, it's pretty extreme, let's put it like that, with the housing crisis. The prices completely exploding, becoming astronomical. Barely stands out from nature. Oh, that's very environmentally friendly then, I assume. I also prefer old houses. I prefer those over these new houses, at least those new buildings that prop up in Europe all over the place. They just look so soulless. Okay, you provided a link. Let me check that out. Oh, that's really nice. I really like that. Especially with the roof being green. Love it. That's awesome. Also very solar punk now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the money right now for that, but if I did have money for a large property or estate, I would also try to give a lot of it back to nature. As in, the garden shouldn't have a just a patch of grass that's trimmed so short that it's just a lawn with no flowers or anything. That's not good for the bees and all the other insects and the birds as well. So we'll try to give that back, plant many flowers for the bees, have a pond, try to help the local insect and bird population. Modern but also traditional. Ooh, also really nice. I really like that. To be fair, I'm a sucker when it comes to solar punk, so... Okay, what do I get? Oddish. For a second I was like, ugh, but it's not shiny. So, no green salad weed thing running away again. Just wasting our time. Wish we had bees, we have wasps. Oof. I mean, wasps also serve a important function in the ecosystem, right? But I do understand how people don't like them as much. They seem to be much more aggressive. But they have a shorter temper, so to speak. To be fair, I've never been bitten or stung by an insect like that. I got a once as a child, and the odds of that happening were astronomical, but yet it still happened. I was on a swing on a playground. I was just swinging, you know, back and forth, just like an ordinary kid would do on a sunny spring day. And then a bumblebee just suddenly flew into my ear. It got stuck, so I could hear a very loud vibration and a bzzz sound in my ear. And I really had to stop swinging, stand up and try to basically get a hold of the poor bee and try to pull it out of my ear canal. Luckily that happened first try, and the bee didn't sting me or anything. I think it was more confused that I was. But that was really weird. But the insect never came back to sting me. That was a complete freak accident. Although thinking back, it's just insane. What were the odds of that insect just flying at the exact right velocity and the exact right angle, just so that it happened to fit into the ear canal of that girl that was swinging there? I sometimes just randomly think back about that moment. I know the insect in question, seeing as their lifespans aren't the same as a human lifespan, isn't alive anymore. I do hope that it had a good life after that. Got quite a shock out of that. Poor thing. I also, that was last week, where I had a bee that somehow made it into my apartment. Still not sure how. And it was pretty exhausted, and it was hanging in a spider web. And yeah, we have to dust the place. But anyway, got stuck, and I thought, I think it's out of stamina. What do I do now? And I tried to grab it with a... it's not tongs for grilling, but these little tongs to pick up insects. I have one like that. And I tried to just gently get it and just open the window, put it outside. But then suddenly it seemed to have awoken. Jesus. Can't talk today. 1, 2, 3. I tried to to just press hard enough that I can hold it in place but not hurt it. But that seemed to have awoken it. And then I just not threw it out, but I just let it loose, let it fly, and immediately the bee flew away. So, yeah. Till now, never been stung by one. That's just weird bee lore from my life. For a millisecond again, I was saying, oh no, not again. Not another shiny oddish. I think I need to change the thumbnails of these videos with just the thumbnail being filled with shiny oddishes. Like going back to that area, don't move too much. Well, that was twice. That's not good, but I'll still continue. I got you as a shiny multiple times. It's green then instead of brown. It's a type or shade of green that I don't like, but still it's a better shiny than, for example, a shiny Persian or a shiny seal or shiny Garchomp, anything that barely changes. I really don't like these kinds of shinies that barely change. Because then what's the point, right? Usually, or I think the point is of a shiny to show it off, or so that back then when they were new, you know, with these playground rumors developing, that was what made Pokemon very popular among children. And back then it was like, oh yeah, the red Gyarados at the Lake of Rage, but I also have a green Rattata, and I know a friend of a cousin of, I don't know, has a insert random shiny here, and that made them more desired, that made them more interesting. And if you have a shiny that barely looks any different, I don't know, feels like a cop-out. Tab out for a sec, I'm currently DMing a friend. Alright, human name, you do you. As always, I'm always happy if people come to my stream, be it for a single minute or the whole thing. I don't care. So hopefully I'll get as lucky as I did yesterday. Yesterday was a really good haul, I have to say. Got so many shinies, even shinies that fled, but still, the Natu I'm trying to get back now. Hey there, name I unfortunately cannot read, or read out loud, because I cannot read the Russian writing system. But nonetheless, welcome to my stream. I hope you're doing well. Actually, now I'm interested how to pronounce that. Because Google usually does do that. Is Alexander Mudry correct? At least that's what Google tells me. Like I said before, I cannot read that specific type of writing system, which has a very specific name that I can't think of now. At least I think it's the Cyrillic script. It's not Russian, it's Cyrillic. I'm from Ukraine. Oh, okay, I see, I see. Well then, I'm sorry about that. That was not the best mishap. Hope you're doing well, considering the situation you guys have over there. Hopefully you and your family and your friends and loved ones are safe. Call you Alex, alright. Well, Alex, welcome to the stream. But yeah, Cyrillic is what I was trying to think of the name. There we go. No outside encounter, that's good. Okay, so what I could try to get later on is, for some reason you have to change the Safar-Zone with encounter type, you have to change. So with surfing, you hit surfing with encounter, and then you scroll down until you see the Safar-Zone, and we are currently in area 2. So what does area 2 have? Only Psyduck. So I could get a shiny Psyduck. That would be a light or sky blue one. So that's via surfing. I think that would be interesting. Then Old Rod also yields you Safar-Zone Pokemon, if you are in the Safar-Zone, of course. So it would be shiny Magikarp or shiny Goldeen. Okay, neighbor's dog is barking outside. Not sure if you hear it at all. And then Good Rod also gives you results. Every single rod does. So also Magikarp or Goldeen, exactly the same as the Old Rod. But the Super Rod, what will that one give me? That one will give me... No, I don't want that. I want Rod Area 2. So either Goldeen or Seeking, very good. But yeah, I think surfing at the Safar-Zone first, since the delay is already set to sweet scenting. Be interesting. Don't worry, nobody doesn't use Cyrillic can see a difference. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right? Because I can't read these types of letters. However, I would be able to know if something is Japanese or Korean, because I can read the 2 of the 3 writing systems that Japanese uses. So I can read and write hiragana, and I can also read and write katakana. And with kanjis, there's so many, there's thousands of them, so you need to memorize them. Sometimes, because I know some kanjis, I can at least decipher some Chinese words where the kanjis are used or based off of. But that still doesn't give me the knowledge on how to read it. I just conceptually could maybe come to the correct conclusion as to what that Chinese symbol might mean, if it shares the symbol with a particular Japanese kanji that I know. But yeah, with that kind of writing system that you have, Alex, no idea. I couldn't distinguish that. Trying to be safe, thank you for asking, but I have a lot of troubles the last 2 years. Yeah, I can imagine. Trying to be optimistic. Yeah, I mean, I hope the Ukraine will be free soon from that tyrant. I'm anti-war in general, so I think it's a big waste of resources and time and life and pretty much everything. Let's say non-shiny gloom, which I don't care about. So I think I'm going to try for the Psyduck. Oh wait, I can't because That will not give me, yeah, no. Just trying for the NATO ones again, and then let's see where this goes. So I'm gonna stay here. And the next reset, I'm going to try to get the Psyduck, so that would be earliest train 15,166. And yeah, I'm trying to not talk too much about it because I think, I mean, you know that much more than I do, right, Alex? You have that, you have to deal with that every single day. That's just a unfortunate reality that you have to deal with now, so you're pretty much sick and tired of hearing that, I'm pretty sure. All I can say is I really hope that, first my heart goes out to all these poor innocent people who have to suffer because of one dictator who just doesn't, whose greed is infinite, basically. And I hope that this war will stop as soon as possible. Not just that war, also the atrocities that are happening everywhere else in Asia. There's atrocities that are happening in Africa, pretty much on every continent on the planet Earth, maybe except for Antarctica. But that's because the problem child, the humans, aren't as populous on Antarctica as they are everywhere else, fortunately. But yeah, the best thing you can do right now is trying to be optimistic. I think that's also the most realistic thing you can do. I know my country where I am from, Luxembourg, has held quite a lot of Ukrainian refugees. And I don't have a problem with that, because if that would happen to me, I would also be super happy if another country would help me after I had to flee mine. I mean, back when World War II was around, I had a portion of my family, my Luxembourgish family, as in a aunt of my mom, she fled to Maryland in the USA during World War II. And she stayed there. I mean, she went there first as a refugee, so to speak, but she stayed there. She has built her life there. And I do know still that there's still some of my family somewhere in the US, so always happy when you are the refugee and you get help. Okay, let's see where this reset takes me, and it's a You don't know this, Alex, because you're new, but I've been getting this shiny over and over and over again, and it's kind of driving me insane. And now I have yet another one. Great. Alright, to be honest, it was a surprise for many people over the world, but we lived near that dictator for more than 20 years, yeah. This war is actually since 2014, yeah, exactly. That's what so many people, especially Ukrainians that I know, have been telling me. And I do remember already reading things about that in 2014. So we are not surprised, yeah. Alright, so no, I didn't want to do that. There we go. Save again. Okay, so I'll go for the shiny Psyduck now. So change the frame. And hope for the best. Out of curiosity, Alex, how did you find this stream? Of course, you don't have to tell me anything that you don't want to share. Not forcing anyone. Right, so shiny Psyduck. So what you do is go over here. The part that I already showed, this is area 2. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really tell you what area it is, but you can deduce that yourself. Oh, right. Don't need no... Can't have a synchronizer if... Oh, I've done a stupid thing, haven't I? Forgot to, take away the synchronizer, or, yeah, the synchronize here. So that I get a wrong frame now, don't I? I mean, I can still try. Ah, I should have thought about that. Forgot about that. That I had to check the synchronizer. So these are already a few frames that I've advanced. Okay. It's still possible that I hit a Psyduck frame, a shiny Psyduck frame, so that's why I don't reset now again. Could be that I still manage to get one. My friends are in Europe, Poland, Netherlands, Britain, Norway. There are a lot of friendly people here. Yeah, I have to say, especially from the Netherlands, at least from my experience. So I'm from Luxembourg. Hi. We have people from Ukraine that moved in 2014. I've had people like that in my class that moved in even earlier than 2014. They just were saying, yeah, because the situation in the Ukraine was unstable. And look who's right. They talked a lot on the radio when the 2022 invasion started, yeah. Yeah, it definitely started earlier. That's just, if you paid attention, then you'd know, right? Bought a 3DS and Pokemon Sun cartridge to spend some time during blackouts last year. Yeah, well, at least you can kill some time with that, yeah. After playing for a while, I go to YouTube trying to find something about Pokemon, and now somehow I'm here. Well, everyone is welcome here. What I'm doing here is, I'm playing Pokemon Emerald, and I am shiny hunting, but I'm not doing the let's say, common way of doing it, just going out there trying to meet or get as many wild Pokemon to appear as possible, and hopefully one of them will be shiny just because I got lucky, because that is not what is happening here. This is a RNG manipulation hunt. So that means that I mathematically deduced certain certain things in my game that allow me to put these values into a program, and that program will give me every single frame that will be shiny. And once that timer hits 0, if I do that correctly twice, then I hit a shiny frame. So let's see if this... Oh wait, I'm using the... Oh my god, I'm just so... What is wrong with me? I didn't even need to do that. What am I doing? It's surfing, not oh god. Yana, what is wrong with you today? So the frame was right, I was stupid. Just ignore that brain fart. That's when these things just enter your muscle memory and you do them automatically without thinking. And then this happens. It's a certified stupid moment. Just like when I was looking for my glasses and I had them on the whole time. Thought about RNG manipulation, but I've never been able to figure out how to set that up programs correctly. It's not that hard. The programs that you can find are, I mean, they are for free. The dark mode program that you see, where you probably see a pink mouse pointer hovering above things, that's Pokéfinder. So you need that program. And the other one with the Glaceon in it, that is the timer, that is Eontimer. So you need at least these two programs. And you need to figure out your trainer and secret ID of the Generation 3 cartridge that you have. And preferably the battery, the internal battery that usually comes with the game. Or usually it always came with the game. If that one has run dry, then you have a much easier time RNG manipulating. Because then the program that runs the while Pokemon will appear thing in the game. No, that wasn't such a good explanation, but yeah. That which determines what wild Pokemon will be generated, it only gets fed the exact same numbers, so always when I reset about 4 minutes into the game, when I hit a very specific frame, I get a shiny. And that's the abuse here, so I know mathematically when that will happen. And that's what I'm doing. So many people have done shiny hunt streams on that. But there's not enough people doing RNG manipulation hunts. Or at least the streaming that. And I want to show how fast you can get so many shinies in a very short amount of time. Interesting to watch maybe someday. I mean, you don't have to, right? Some people are just saying, okay, I want to see how this works, but I don't want to do it myself. 22 invasion is a continuation of the 2014 invasion, yeah. But it's more useful to talk about them separately in my case, in what I was explaining. Yeah, I do see what you mean, but one definitely caused the other to manifest, let's say. So it didn't start in 2022, it obviously started back in 2014. I was still in high school then. And I do remember reading about that. And yeah, these Ukrainian people that I know talking about that. And being very worried and stressed. So, yeah. Sometimes we humans suck. It's not the way the game was intended to play, but if you have fun doing it. I mean, some people say this is hacking. I'm not hacking anything. But some people say it's cheating. I don't think it is, but if you think so, then okay. I mean, definitely the developers have not intended anyone to do this, right? And yet, I mean, there's so much the developers didn't intend. And it's funny how many shinies you get in a very short amount of time. To be fair, yesterday, now I already gotten multiple shinies. Yesterday was really good. Got a lot of shinies. Did you get any shinies yet, Alex? Go hover over Sweet Scent and hopefully get the shiny duck soon. I do know in the anime, isn't there a shiny hunter in the anime who has a shiny Psyduck? At least I think the Alola anime has a character like that, a human character. So, human name, I wanted to ask you, do you have yet, like, the Easter holiday now? Because the, Easter Sunday is this month, the last day of March. I think right now it's a full moon. Yeah, today is a full moon. Easter, ah, that's nice, so no school. Found a shiny Caterpie, ooh, nice. One day, but I was so scared it was a different color and I thought it was a bug in the game. Actually, Caterpie is a bug. Oh, you reset the game, oh, that's unfortunate. Well, if it makes that any better, I think I do remember my, that was 2 decades ago, or something like that, even more. When I was a little kid and my brother, he had silver and I had gold. And I do remember him finding a shiny Rattata and he thought that it was a virus for some reason, because we still didn't truly understand what that whole missing no thing was about. We thought it was a virus. It's not, it's a glitch. But the shiny Rattata had nothing to do with that being a glitch and he fled. So thinking back now, that was, yeah, kind of like that, thinking it was a bug or a glitch. Were you always into Pokemon, or are you a recent recruit? I mean, I've been there since the beginning, playing it since 1998, literally as a toddler started. I mean, obviously when I got Blue for the first time, I didn't really know what I was doing since I was 4 years old. But I've been there since the beginning, and I don't like gatekeeping. I don't like old Pokemon fans gatekeeping newer ones. You know, just trying to block them from entering the fandom. That's not what anything is about. It's a normal Psyduck, unfortunately. So, let's try for the shiny one. Yeah, this message has to appear. At least it doesn't have to if you're using Emerald. But if you want to do that in Ruby and Sapphire, I mean, you can RNG manipulate with a live battery, but it's super complicated and, in my opinion, not worth the effort. Don't move too much. Thank you. watched TV show when I was a kid, and I had no idea this was somehow related to games. Oh, same with my husband. He saw the anime and he didn't know that it was a game. It was actually me introducing him. He started his Pokemon journey with Pokemon Platinum. Before he had absolutely no idea that it was a game. So I figured out it was a game in 2015 when I was big enough to finish university and got my first job. Oh, I see. Oh, I've had a job in the lab. I'm a chemistry engineer. That's really nice. Person of science. I like that. So I was so impressed playing Fire Red on my phone with an emulator. Ah, I see. Yeah, unfortunately, getting the cartridges now used, they're very expensive. I'm glad that I still got my Pokemon Emerald. I mean, this save file is my childhood save file. So this save file is older than my nephew and niece. It's from 2005 when it came out. And I did have to rebuy my oh, raspy voice, vocal training again. I did have to rebuy my Ruby and Sapphire because I suspect someone of my family is stealing them or having stolen them in the past. So I do know that they since even skyrocketed in price, even more than they already did. But yeah, chemistry engineer, that's really nice. I studied computer science, but as of now, I'm done with university, but I still haven't found a job. But still, I mean, I can complain about that or just move forwards and try to get another job. I mean, thinking about not going into IT because they don't seem to take me regardless of what I do. Feel like I've missed something important in my life, but now this gap is filled. Well, that is good. I do know how it feels like when you have a gap in your life. And some people fill these gaps with toxic things, and then they tear themselves down. So when you fill them with good and positive things, that is so much better also for your personal development, because that never stops. I don't know why so many people think that you stop growing as a person once you turn 21 or 18 or 26, I don't know. Never really stop learning and really stop developing. Got Japanese Pokemon Sun cartridge, looks almost new, was so happy to get it, but I found out my cartridge slot was broken, so I had to repair it. Hopefully that wasn't too expensive. Luckily the 3DS games are region free, not region locked, so you can actually play a Japanese game. Do you have any other Pokemon games, Alex? Because maybe we could trade. Area 2. Go towards the water. There's also other areas in the Safari-Zone that have slightly different Pokemon in it. Don't know which one it was again, but one of them has Remoraid, and that is a shiny I'm also going to try and catch. But as you know, this is the Safari-Zone after all, so it's not like in the usual, let's say wild, I guess, in the game, where you can weaken them and try to, I don't know, paralyze them, put them to sleep so they'll be caught easier. Here you only have the option of throwing a ball, coming closer to the Pokemon. That increases their odds to flee, but it also increases the odds of you catching them. So it's a bit of a gamble. It's a risk-reward thing. And the other option is either to flee or to feed a Pokeblock. And depending on the nature of the Pokemon, different Pokeblocks will either they will like it, they will love it, they will despise it, they will dislike it. And usually when you throw a Pokeblock that they like, they will stay. Except yesterday, for example, where unfortunately I encountered a shiny Natu. So I hit the shiny Natu frame. And I even threw a red Pokeblock, which adamant-natured Natu should like. But it just basically took the Pokeblock and immediately fled. And, well, I'm still a bit salty about that. Even in real life, where the when I feed birds, I actually also feed birds in real life, and they don't flee, and that's a wild bird, a actual real bird. Birds are flighty for a reason, right? And even they don't do that. Hey there, Sneaky Turtle, welcome to the stream. Is this on an emulation system? Nope. This is on a GameCube, so this is an actual Pokemon Emerald cartridge. The cartridge that I've had since 2005, so it's a childhood cartridge, so to speak. And I am playing this on the GameCube. So the GameCube has an add-on where you can play Game Boy games on it. So Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games you can play on the GameCube. And that's what I'm streaming. And I'm trying to RNG manipulate. That's why I'm using these programs that you see. Trying to RNG manipulate and get shinies. Missed a part of your speech. I had to run to shelter. You had to run to shelter? I mean, you can exit the stream. I mean, that is more important than my stream, right? You don't need to even excuse yourself for that. Stay safe, Alex. That is the most important thing here. But yeah, geez, the vocal training really does a number to my voice. For those of you who don't know, I've been taking singing lessons, and I do vocal training every day. And as you can see, this is the Game Boy player thing. That's where I play the game on. Right now I'm trying to get a shiny Psyduck. So until now, unfortunately, still no success with that. You can also do this on emulator, but my idea behind this is that I prove that it's also doable and possible on retail. So actual games. And there's no action replay used in any of this. So I think it's all wow, it's already been half an hour trying to get the shiny Psyduck. That's a shame. Till now, still haven't gotten it. Maybe I'll go back to trying to get a Natu. That also depends on what my viewers want. If anyone has a request, I will abide to that. Are you okay, Alex? Because I'm kind of worried, not gonna lie. You don't need to attend my stream if you have to be somewhere for your own safety. That's the most important thing. Nintendo consoles are not so popular here until Switch, but people use Switch mostly not for Pokemon. I know nobody playing Pokemon. Oh, so that's interesting. Where I'm from, usually Pokemon and Nintendo. If you have a Nintendo console, you always have a Pokemon game, or almost always. That's the case where I live. So you're kind of my first Pokemon friend, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I guess you can call it that. Or PokeTuber, I guess. Even though I also make... I plan on doing things not just Pokemon, but other games or things as well. I'm trying to get monetized again, so that I'll have additional income, any income at this point. But I need to reach or pass a certain threshold of viewer hours or viewed hours of my content. So right now I'm almost halfway through. So hopefully that will, at least this year, hopefully I'll get that to work out. I have internet here in shelter because it's like 5 times a day, regular story, and we have to work somehow. For a second I thought there was going to be... Okay, no, that was a plane. For a second I thought that I saw a shooting star out of my window, because that would have been very exciting. Fortunately, couldn't have showed it because you can't see it. Okay, that's not a shiny Psyduck. Let me check something out. If I go to Safar-Zone, and I don't have quirky. Don't think I've forgotten if I can get. No, I don't get early quirky Natus. Forget about it. Okay, so this frame also gives me one. Gloom I don't get as a quirky, unfortunately. Wobbuffet I haven't gotten yet. Yeah, I can try this frame, although I think I could get a Wobbuffet a bit earlier. No, actually don't. Pikachu I already have. Gloom I can't get quirky. Natu I can't get quirky. Oddish I've already had enough of these. Don't know. Should I continue with the Psyduck? I'll just go for this frame. It's a frame that's slightly later. I have my adamant. Yeah, okay, so I can switch over to Gloom then. or I can spontaneously change between trying to get a Gloom and trying to get a Psyduck. Because I will get a shiny Gloom and a shiny Psyduck on frame 15,170. That's why I'm contemplating this, yeah. So let's try for a Gloom this time. We can switch between Gloom and Psyduck. One of these resets has to yield one. At least I hope so. If not, then... I mean, I did plan to stream for at least an hour. Yeah, another hour, that should be fine. And then, unfortunately, usually I stream on Wednesdays. That's where I do the Wild Wednesday RNG hunts. But unfortunately, this Wednesday I will not be able to stream. So the next Wild Wednesday will be in April. However, I will try and stream every weekend. So the Safari Saturday and Safari Sunday should continue as usual. Maybe I shouldn't do too many vocal training sessions before I stream, as my voice is always a bit fried afterwards. I'm trying to amend things by drinking tea, but that doesn't always work. Did plan on doing that as well, more maybe get into singing. At least that's why I have even taken the singing course in the first place. I found a vocalist or singing teacher who I think is really good at conveying these things. And it's she does that for people who don't really have a musical background. And let's see where that takes me. I know there's people who told me you can just go on YouTube and check out these lessons, but there's so many things that they don't teach you in these lessons. For example, how you should specific tongue positions, specific jaw positions, specific positions of the mouth or the jaw that give you certain resonance, to your voice, or other things that they don't mention in the YouTube tutorials, and you also risk, if you just do it by yourself, you try to teach yourself how to sing, you risk to you could potentially damage your vocal cords if you really don't know what you're doing, and I didn't want to do that. So singing people who sing are my heroes. You like singing? Who's your favorite singer then? Or singers, plural. There we go. Does that give me a Gloom, or does it give me Doom, or does it give me a shiny that I... Okay, already that shape of the Oddish gives me enough. I have a funny story about voice. Let's hear it. Actually, it's not funny, but I can see it funny now. Well, now you've hyped it up. Now I want to hear your story. Now I'm curious. Okay, going for the Psyduck now. Ooh, the guy didn't move. That's very good. So maybe there's no big frame delay now. When I was 14, I lost my voice. My vocal cord was paralyzed. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that must be so weird. Exactly at the time I bought my first guitar and had big plans. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And I spent 1.5 years not being able to talk at all. Ooh, that must have been so complicated. So you essentially you were mute? Yeah, you were mute for 1.5 years. Later we did everything possible and impossible, and I can talk and even try to sing. So it did eventually regain its full functionality then, I assume. I've read about people breaking their voices, but I've never had it myself, and to be fair, about how much I read about stuff, even also medical facts, it seems to be very rare. 18 months of silence. Oh, did you learn sign language in the meantime, or how did you manage? Because I imagine that if I read that, I imagine myself, how would I be in that situation? I imagine myself right now not being to talk, and that for 18 months. Just no tone, nothing coming out of me. How would I manage? I mean, theoretically speaking, I could still stream, but just without a voice. The singing I could give up, and then, I guess. I mean, yeah, you didn't have the plans to stay mute. I don't think anyone has plans to stay mute. No sign I wrote on paper. Ah, I see. Because I do remember being with a... as a teenager, I went to therapy, and there was a teenage boy who, he wasn't mute, he was deaf. But he was able to hear with a specific medical apparatus that went into the ear canal. And he was the point of him being in therapy was that he stopped reading the lips of people. So he was always lip reading people, and he should, rather than doing that, he should try and associate sounds with letters and sounds with words, so he could, that his brain was able to translate it that. But I remember that he always automatically switched back to reading lips, because that's what he was used to do. No, that's very interesting. Felt like I never sing and had something like traumatic experience. Yeah, that was definitely traumatic. Must have been. Unfortunately, not a shiny. It was so hard even to talk because of some things in my head, and even though I catch myself on a thought better not. Oh, yeah, self-doubt. I know how that feels. Say rather than say, but it's not okay, just a bad habit. Yeah. It's a bad habit of a self-doubting spiral. I know exactly what that is like. And as a tip of someone who is learning to sing now, you need to kick that, oh no, I'm too shy to sing in front of my vocal teacher. You need to kick that out of your head immediately, because you're not gonna do any progress if you're too shy to sing. That is maybe the hardest part about learning to sing, just kicking that habit, or trying to get rid of these shameful or self-doubting thoughts. Hey there, Kryto Skywaker. How you doing? Good evening. Welcome to the stream. Just checking in. Yeah, until now, still got... I got one single shiny that I actually caught, and that is a Oddish again. Until now, the Safari Sunday isn't really going that well, at least compared to yesterday, where I got so many shinies. Trying to sing, but it was really hard to completely relax. If you're not relaxed, you're not singing. Yeah, you do need to... that's why sometimes I do breathing exercises, so that I relax my my vocal cords. Because if you stress them too much, you don't... the tone coming out is not as harmonious as it should be, so you don't sing as well. Definitely. Probably hardest part in singing. What do I need to do to relax when I have to do nothing, just literally nothing to relax? I mean, yeah, I know, but just saying or telling someone relax or calm down, that has never worked, even though they say do nothing. Well, that's not really true. You need to be conscious of what you're doing, at least to a certain degree. And I can give you the following tip. It's a breathing exercise, and it's also you can also use it in yoga or generally when you're having a panic attack. It's called the sniper breath or sniper breathing. And why sniper breathing? It's because snipers, so trained snipers, are actually using said breathing technique to completely calm down, because the sniper has no wiggle room, literally. He can't just shake nervously, because then the bullet won't hit. So what is the sniper breathing technique? It's very simple. You breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 1, and then you breathe out for 6 seconds. Repeat. Repeat until you feel that your blood pressure has gone down, or you generally feel more calm and relaxed. It does work. It just sounds really freaking stupid, but it definitely does work. I've stopped panic attacks with that, both mine and from others, so I can definitely vouch for that technique. Yeah, I'm also not really... I do have my areas of knowledge where I really know a lot of things about, but snipers are not one of these. I just know about the sniper breathing technique. I've come across it during yoga lessons. When I was a teenager, I took yoga lessons. It's a normal giraffe. No thanks. And then again at a trying to control yourself course. So self-control course, or just trying to relieve anxiety. And again with my vocal training, so it's definitely real and definitely helps. I think there might be a lot of snipers. I'll try to find someone here to ask. Sometimes he's not a sniper, but he knows a lot of things about war or weapons or things like these. There's a viewer here who's called Classic. He knows a lot about these things. Sometimes he drops random facts about planes and tanks. Sorry about that, just gonna have morning shift as next. Alright, I'm not gonna keep you here. I know exactly what that means. You just need to get up early. You need to go go to bed early. You need your sleep. That's very important. So, good night, Kryto Skywaker, and see you next time. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I do know one sniper. At least he's not a sniper actively. But he used to do that in is an ex-soldier that I know from university, and he also did set technique, so definitely I vouch for that. It really helps. But like I said before, the hardest part of learning how to sing, at least for me, was losing that shyness in front of the teacher. So that you don't sing with almost no sound coming out, but you need to show her or him what you're capable of, right? Yeah, good night, Kryto, and don't worry about it. I understand morning shifts. You just need the right amount of sleep for that. I'm also thinking about streaming not for too long. Usually I stream and I end my streams just before midnight. But this time I think I'll stop a bit earlier. Kind of a shame that this stream until now all I've gotten is a shiny oddish. But still, let's see what I can get. Still some time left, and I need to stay optimistic. And even so, I still got a shiny oddish. It's an oddish, of course, but a shiny is still a shiny. And the nice thing about the oddishes is that I can also evolve it into either I only remember the German name Giflor, the last evolution of Oddish. Or you can evolve it into the other evolutionary line that you can get with the Sunstone. Keep going, you'll find it. Yeah, I think so. Sometimes I get somewhat unlucky with the here. Some NPCs can change the rate at which frames advance, and they can sometimes mess that up. And there's no way of truly knowing that. But because of RNG manipulation, I've been getting so many shinies that I need to use Pokemon Box, which is a Pokemon, like, it's basically the same thing that as Pokemon Home, but not on the Switch, but for the GameCube. I need to put them in that storage, or else my games would be chock full. Believe in math, yeah, we believe in the math here. You can ask Human Name about that. He can vouch for me. The luck factor that I have here is, like I said before, hoping that the NPCs in the Safar-Zone don't move too much. And the fact that should I get a shiny to appear, I still have to catch it. And unfortunately, as of yet, I am unable to RNG Pokeball results. So I can't RNG it so that I know when to press A, and then the Pokeball will definitely capture it. I know that is theoretically possible, but I'm not aware of any program being able to do that, or any method of being able to do that. Because if I knew, I would do it, of course. But I'm not, and that is those two things are the only real luck factor with these runs. Change name on YouTube, so no, it's just I'm just Alex. Alright, I see that. So now it's readable even for me. Well, yeah, Alex, if you go to the channel, you can see that I've been doing this for a while. And I've gotten many shinies. Some of them really, shiny Rayquaza, the shiny legendaries, other shiny legendaries as well. Shiny Mew. I've gotten shinies where people really covet them. They really want them. And I have them now, and it's pretty nice. Some of them even have pretty good IVs, I would say. 3 perfect IVs is really not too bad, considering that RNG manipulation in terms of IVs isn't really that, not easy, but it's kind of tedious in Generation 3. You'd have to use specific tricks like the painting method or the battle video method in order to reach very far away frames. So you don't need to have the game being like let the game run for a week or a day. That would be a waste of electricity. So you do that, which I'm not doing. I haven't done that before. I know how it works, but I haven't done it. And there's also ACE, or arbitrary code execution. But that I also understand how it works, and I know what it is. But I just can't do that with my childhood cartridge. I'm too afraid of messing something up and having to delete my save file. Or corrupting bits and parts of the game that I didn't intend to corrupt. Oh my god, you... No, come on! This is a really bad joke at this point. And it flees, yeah, sure. Just rubbing the salt even more into the wound, sure, absolutely. This is ridiculous. I get a shiny and then it's the freaking Oddish again, and it flees. Yeah, it's been an Oddish day for quite a few days now. I think I have over 15 at this point. I stopped counting, honestly, Alex. So I couldn't even say for sure, but there's a lot of shiny Oddishes in these runs. It is a perfect IV Ditto in Emerald. Yeah, theoretically, yeah. 25 days or so waiting, 35 days. It depends on your trainer ID or secret ID, but yeah, generally you need to wait for way too long. So the frame that I'm looking for now, the resets are always, they last 4 minutes in between. And 4 minutes waiting time is already... it's not too short. It's not too long either. I wouldn't wait past 5 minutes though, I'd say. And if I wanted to get something like that perfect IV Ditto that you mentioned, then you'd need to do the battle method, because otherwise you'd just be insane after. You really want to let the cartridge, the game run, or let it turn on for 35 days in a row. Now I'm curious, how many hours is that? Would be 840 hours, so your save file, when you save or check your profile, would say 999 in minutes in playtime. I don't think it counts past 999. Okay, so Oddish won't appear on the while surfing, so at least there's that. Check if there's a Natu frame that gets shared with the maybe there's a Natu frame that's also a shiny Psyduck frame. So what do we have? 15,210, 15,212, 15,254, 15,298. Those are with synchronize. So that's what I get with Natus. So I go to surf. Safar-Zone area 2, Psyduck, generate 210, no, 200, 200, oh, it does have one for 210, so I could try that again later. Hey there, Graham Bowling, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Don't think I've seen that name here before. Nevertheless, everyone is welcome here. And now let's see what I got. That's not a shiny. Okay, so going for the Gloom again. Hopefully we'll get another shiny Oddish. You new? Well then welcome. Hope you're doing well tonight. So many new names, new chatters that I get. It's pretty nice. Out of pure curiosity, how did you find my live stream? Of course, Graham, if you don't want to share this, you don't need to. Not forcing anyone. Where I am in Luxembourg. I am from Luxembourg as well, a micronation in Europe, independent country, since for a very long time. And right now where I am, it's 11 p.m. or 23 o'clock. Of course, I try to stream when most of my audience are awake, which tends to be during the late evening, since most of my viewers are from the US. So I always have to keep these time zones in mind. You just saw it, so I assume it's just suggestions. The YouTube algorithm is weirdly enough working with me now. That's pretty good. Good to know. So 15,298 is another frame that will give me a shiny Psyduck. It will also give me a shiny, at least I think so, Safar-Zone, shiny Gloom. No, it was either that or the other. Okay. Even with the adamant synchronizer? Well, I'll try to either get the shiny Gloom or the shiny Psyduck. Oh, and Natu. I haven't gotten Natu yet. It did appear yesterday. It was shiny in all of its glory, but it fled, which is the risk that you willingly take when you enter the Safar-Zone. And kind of the point of this format, this live stream format. So, Graham, are you looking for a shiny Pokemon as well? I might change the Gloom to the Natu thing. Hey there, Kinox12. Welcome to the stream. How is the hunt going today? Not that great. Yesterday I've gotten so many good shinies and now just oddish. And sometimes it is like that. And that's a normal Wobbuffet, which I don't want, obviously. Pokemon Scarlet, which shiny are you looking for? Unfortunately, the starters are shiny locked, so I think the only way of getting these shiny would be to breed them, which can be tedious. Okay, so quickly going over to the pond area where you can get Psyduck. So the for those of you who don't understand what I'm doing, the frame that gives me a shiny Gloom also gives me a shiny Psyduck. That's why I don't change. And I can interchange, I can switch back and forth between them. Currently shiny hunting Eevee and Moon. Good luck with that. I still remember when I got my first random shiny Eevee in Ultra Moon. I was just breeding an Eevee, but not necessarily looking for a shiny, but looking for a Eevee that I could evolve into an Umbreon. And 5 eggs later I got a random shiny Eevee. So that was really nice. So yeah, Eevee is a great shiny. You're breeding Totodile. Oh yeah, it's one of these teal shinies that really aren't too bad. I am from Luxembourg, yes. I am a Luxembourgish citizen as well. Sometimes I have a German viewer who comes here, and he always writes his text in German, so I reply to him in German, since, I mean, being a Luxembourger, you know Luxembourgish, you know German, you know French, and usually after high school you also know English. So those are the languages that I mainly speak. And I also am currently learning Italian, because my dad is Italian and have family in Italy. He never spoke Italian to me, so I have to reteach it to me as an adult, but still. And I also know a bit of Japanese. That's so cool. First person from Luxembourg I meet. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's not many Luxembourgers on this planet. If you Google my country, it's super small. It's a micronation, right? We're between Germany, Belgium, and France. And some Americans don't believe me when I say depending on where I am in Luxembourg, I can just walk to France or walk to Germany and back and cross two country borders by foot. That's nothing special where I am. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't assuming that you don't know where it is, but a lot of people, I do always say that in streams because a lot of people don't know or don't seem to know where it is. Right, that felt like it was the correct timing, but no, it wasn't. Oh, that's a shame. Speak all those languages, barely speak English and Spanish. I mean, yeah, to be fair, thank you, but where I'm from, it's nothing special. I have a friend who speaks like 9 languages. He also knows Spanish and a bit of Russian, and his Japanese is, I think it's better than mine. And he also knows Portuguese. But in the future... Oh, what am I doing? I wanted to go into this. Oh, the NPC hasn't moved. Very good. Got lucky there. Anyway, what I was trying to say earlier is that in the future, I planned on, after I'm done with Italian, I want to learn Dutch because from the looks of it and how, I mean, I went to the Netherlands so many freaking times, over 100 times for sure. And no, not 100 times what I'm saying. Disregard that statement. Maybe to Italy, but even then. But a lot of times I've been in the Netherlands. Hundreds of hours, definitely. And I kind of understand what they are saying. Not everything. It seems to be very close to the language that I grew up with. Want to learn German and Japanese, not gonna lie. I would start with German because I started with Japanese in 2014 and it was kind of a mistake because I should have learned Italian earlier because Japanese is, and take that from someone who is a polyglot, so someone who speaks multiple languages fluently, Japanese is hard. There's so much you need to learn, as in not just new words, new grammar, new sentence structures, new syntax. Not just that, with Japanese you need to learn 3 new writing systems. So you need to learn hiragana, you need to learn katakana. Those 2 aren't too hard, I would say. I mean, I do know them, so at least I didn't think they were too hard. Kanji, however, those are pictograms, like the Chinese symbols, and there are thousands of kanjis, and you need to learn them by heart, and that is really freaking hard. And also, there's some small things in Japanese, like you having to take another counting words for a object, so you don't count long shaped, thin shaped things the same way as you would count a sheet of paper. And I'm not kidding, they have counting words for things that are shaped, or things that are persons, or things that are animals. And there's over 500 of these counting words. And again, you need to learn them by heart, and it's just really hard. But to be fair, the grammar of Japanese grammar is actually very, very easy. I was shocked on how easy it was. Because, I mean, Luxembourgish, my mother tongue, that grammar is really freaking hard, I assume, for foreign people. Harder than German, definitely. And French grammar is so irregular that you usually get at least some bit of frustration when you learn French. So I would advise you to learn German first, especially since you are able to, you understand English, so German would be a good first step. Right, 5 seconds remaining. Let's see if this reset will yield anything. How are things in Europe? I heard it's not going so great, especially with Macron and Putin clashing. I mean, yeah. We've been through worse. I mean, World War I and II, right? But right now in Luxembourg, it's still very peaceful. I mean, I have one chatter here who's from the Ukraine, and that's a whole lot of story. It doesn't just look complicated, it is complicated, obviously, but not everything. And that's the good thing. Not everything of the Japanese language is complicated. There's some things like the grammar that I mentioned is really freaking easy. And it has a very clear set of rules. And these rules are easy to remember. I find easier to speak it than write it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that too. Have you already started with the Japanese learning? I see. At least when you write something like, I find it easier to speak than to write it. That's a very common experience of people trying, Westerners at least, trying to learn Japanese. When I play or read something in Japanese, I still need these, I've forgotten the name, the kanji that are above the hiragana that's above the kanji. So if you don't know the kanji, you can still read the word. They have a very specific name, these mini... Furigana, yeah, furigana. I still rely heavily on furigana, which usually you only find in children's books or children's games. German lessons at school for 4 years, now I remember nothing. That's unfortunate. Does Luxembourg have its own language? Yeah, it's Luxembourgish. And yeah, we also speak French and German. No, sorry for any ignorance. I mean, it's not like that is taught in your schools, right? Interesting for me too. Yeah, I do think learning languages and just exchanging yourself with the different experiences people have from different cultures, learning the same language, it's very interesting. I know Switzerland is similar, except it's German, French, Italian. Yeah, and they have a specific kind of German that they call Schweizerdeutsch. So Swiss German that sometimes when they speak very fast, I can't really make out what they're saying. And also Switzerland is not a EU country, right? Luxembourg is. What is your first language? My first language was Luxembourgish. That's my mother tongue. That's what I grew up with. And very quickly I learned German before even entering school. And then I learned French in elementary or primary school. And in high school I learned English. And 2014 I started with Japanese. Right now I'm trying to get into Italian to a sufficient level so I can communicate with my family. Luxembourgish is more similar to German. It's a Germanic language, as in it derives from the same language family tree. But we do have a lot of French loan words. Let's see. Will I walk away with just a shiny oddish today? Looks like it. Okay, so the last reset things that I'm gonna do now is this frame, because that one will yield me a Psyduck and or a Natu. At least if I wrote it down correctly. Psyduck 15,254. Yeah, here we go. So let's hope that that works out. If not, then there's next Saturday where I do this thing again, this stream. I have dual citizenship, was born in the US. Okay. But I grew up in Chile. Oh, okay. That's why you speak Spanish as well. Hey, do you listen to Hardstyle by any chance? Because I'm a huge Hardstyle fan, and I know that Chile is one of the only South American countries that has a really big scene of Hardstyle. So, just asking. That's why I know English and Spanish. Yeah, bilingual. Also want to learn Spanish once. Found at least 6 dialects of Lutzeburg on Wikipedia. Yeah, funnily enough, yeah, small country it is, but we still have our little dialects, and I mean, you can discern that from me speaking English here, but if I spoke Luxembourgish and you'd be fluent in Luxembourgish, you'd be able to pick out my southern accent, because I grew up in the south of Luxembourg, and the way I pronounce certain things in Luxembourgish or how I say them, you could easily pinpoint my accent. It would be a southern Luxembourgish accent. So that's a fun fact. Spanish is a nightmare. It's so fast and full of slang. Can't be worse than French slang. They have verlan, which is l'envers, which is the reverse in French, but mixed so that it sounds like verlan. That's basically slang where they mix, like they take the last bit of the word and then they put it in the front. So, for example, the French word for a woman, femme, F-E-M-M-E. In slang French or verlan, you don't say femme, you say meuf. So M-E-F. Yeah, it starts with M-E-F, and that is really weird if you don't know anything about verlan. You just read these, or you hear these words said in French, and you're just like, huh, what the hell is he talking about? So I guess it's not worse than that. South of Luxembourg, do you mean next street? Yeah, it's a very small country. Chileans descend from Andalusians, that's why, yeah. But yeah, do you, was the yeah, was that, about the hardstyle thing, do you at least know it, or are you also a fan, or do you not like it? I've spoken to a guy from Chile, or multiple guys from Chile, at a hardstyle festival. Find it interesting how Chile is such a... the shape of the country is just really interesting, how it's very narrow and thin and long. Right, 5 seconds. Oh, you like it? That's so cool. There's basically no scene for that in Luxembourg. But yeah, I've been a fan since 2009. Oh boy. Another shiny Oddish. I just get shiny Oddishes, that's all I get. And it Okay. Bye-bye. I don't need you anyway. Gonna check for a Psyduck now. This keeps happening. Keep getting shiny Odysseus. It's because those Argentinian MFs took our Pentagon territory while we were at war with Peru and Bolivia. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable about the conflict, but I do know that you lost territory because of that. Yeah, it's a shiny, but I mean, see, I already have that shiny here, and I think I have over 10 at this point, so that's not a problem. Literally, the first shiny that appeared in my stream was a shiny Odyssey tonight, whatever. So I'm going for a Psyduck reset now. And then later I'm gonna go for the Natu. And I think that will be it for tonight. Hopefully I'll still get one of the shinies. If not, it was... Oh well, sometimes that happens, that I get somewhat unlucky. And the NPCs move a lot, they change frames, or they make it so that frames advances occur. Hey there, Classic, I've been wondering when you'd show up. Welcome to the stream, how are you? Unfortunately, I will probably end the stream soon. So, some good news is that quite a few people think my haircut isn't the worst. I mean, your haircut that you got, I mean, I haven't seen it, right? But, I don't think that it's the worst. There's some men that look really good with very, like, buzz cut hair. No, one of the Luxembourg leaders during the 30s was a man in a hat. Yeah, I guess you could say it like that. There's a lot of men in that era that wearing hats. Also, using hot water on sensitive parts of your body is amazing. Yeah, not too hot, not boiling hot, but that is a problem that I have when I shower. When I have a warm shower, sometimes it just feels so amazing that you don't want to exit the shower at all. Yeah, you can, I mean, I'm not forcing you, right, Classic, but what I would say is a horrible haircut that no one really wears well is a mullet. And I can't believe that the mullet is making a comeback now. Or that rat tail thing they did in the 90s, that is... Ugh. Never, if I had a son, never have that haircut. Play a lot of map games, that's what got me into countries, geography, politics and flags. Oh, that's actually very good, because kind of frustrated about people not knowing large chunks of history and then just being very ignorant about certain things, when they could just open up a history book, or maybe even sometimes just play certain games that already have a lot of information that's true. But that's good. More people should be interested in that. I want that solid snake mullet, not gonna lie. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think the rat tail is worse than the mullet though. Never understood that fashion trend. Love history too. Ah, nice. Also, alternative history, are you into that as well? Right. Let's see. I mean, got a couple of new guys here with me. It's not a shiny, unfortunately. So last reset, here we go. Gonna share the, I have a Discord server for this channel. Still a bit bare bones. I need to finally get around and fix things up in there. But here it is, in case you want to join. And if you like this content, don't forget about subscribing if you want to see more. I try to always stream either on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. Sometimes I do spontaneous streams on other weekdays. Oh, that's not so good. Hey there, Pikachu. Ah, of course you love alt history. Yeah, that is... I've seen some really compelling alt history writings where people went above and beyond. That was just someone writing a alternate history for Africa and Europe, where colonization didn't really happen like it did with in real life, and that was really, really a good read. World War II and Vietnam history is hard. I mean, it's interesting, but I really feel for these poor victims because that is just horrifying. I mean, they're so obvious, it's amazing. Also, when are we doing that voice chat? Yeah, I'm trying to get more, as in more times from other people, if that makes sense. But yeah, maybe I'll just announce when I am in the Discord and then you can decide if you want to come or not. Do you play HOI 4? No, I don't. Hey there, Ahmed. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, this is the last reset that I'm gonna do for today. Has been raining today. What about you? No, pretty sunny today. 1984, The Man in the High Castle, Wolfenstein. Yeah. Interesting. Glad I found someone that shares some of my passions. Yeah, I'm always glad finding other people that like hardstyle because that's just really freaking rare nowadays. But yeah, alt history. Do you also like speculative history? That's what I really like, as in speculative future history, especially anything with speculative future things like speculative biology as well, speculative evolution. That is really interesting. That I'm really into that. Trying to do that myself. You're passionate about fighter jets, yeah. My husband also likes it when it rains. I like it when it rains when I'm inside. Don't really like cold rain. What is alt history? Is it like literature? What? Alt history is like, it means alternate history. So it's a community where, or a fandom where people speculate if, for example, if World War I didn't happen, and then how would Germany, how would France, how would all these territories, how would they form, right? So maybe Luxembourg wouldn't exist, or maybe Luxembourg would be much bigger than it is nowadays. It's basically that. Very interesting. There's some really good stuff out there. Right, let's see if this reset does it. No one guy that likes to turn history inside out. Vaping has made me feel like I have golf balls in my throat. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So I was joining Discord, no problem. Fortunately, no shinies, so all I got today was lousy shiny oddish. But still, I had fun, and that's what counts. Hopefully you guys had fun as well. That's what I'm trying to accomplish with these streams. And, well, this is it. See you guys next Saturday. Hopefully earlier. If I stream earlier, I'll let you know in the community tab. Alright, so goodbye and good night.